When you hear the word philosopher, what comes to mind? Maybe the beautiful world of ancient Greece, but probably a person who is in a constant state of distress. Well, I'm here today to tell you that yes, both of those things do relate to philosophers, but when I hear the word philosopher, I actually think of rappers. Hi, my name is Princess Nuozo, and today I'm going to talk to you about the similarities between renowned ancient Greek philosopher Socrates and one of the most influential rappers of all time, Tupac. Now, listening to me today, you're going to learn about the similarities between two abstract people you have never related to each other before. And hopefully, by the end of my speech, you'll have a new understanding and appreciation of people like Socrates and Tupac who dedicated their entire lives to changing the world around them. Now, along with the research that I did, I am a philosophy major, so I have an extensive amount of knowledge on Socrates. I've also listened to many of Tupac's songs. Today, I will compare Socrates and Tupac on three main points: their tension with the government, their influence over the youth, and finally, their influence after death. So to begin with Socrates' tension with the government, according to Belmont philosophy professor Dr. Noah Boyle's Introduction in the Ways of Knowing book that we all know and love, he states that Socratic wisdom is knowing that you don't know. And this was the way that Socrates would obtain his wisdom. Now, in his search for wisdom, he would question the people who claimed to be the wisest and most influential people in all of Athens. And at the time, this would be the people holding government positions. Now, in questioning these government officials, he revealed that they knew absolutely nothing about what they claimed to be experts in. Shocking and new. But, and he was very, very aware of this. Yet Socrates did not stop his pursuit in revealing the true extent of their knowledge. Similarly, Tupac engaged in powerful critical examination of the government by calling out the government's systematic and oppressive treatment towards African Americans in his music. Tupac used his professional status to implement his political ideas, such as aggressively calling out the myth of the American dream in his song Panther Power, with lyrics such as real as it seems, the American dream ain't nothing but another calculated scheme to get us locked up, shot up, back in chains, to the nights of the future, rob our names. Tupac stirred critics such as the former vice president, Dan Quayle. Dan Quayle publicly stated that the distribution and production of Tupac's debut album, Tupac Lives Now, was an irresponsible corporate act, and that there was absolutely no reason for a record like this to be published by a respectable record company. Both Socrates and Tupac's boldness revealed the contradictive and unjust nature of the government. But now let's talk about their influence over the youth. According to the peer-reviewed and academic source, the Internet Encyclopedia of Philosophy, Socrates spent most of his time in the Agora, which is the Athenian marketplace, asking questions to those who were willing to speak to him. Now, Socrates never claimed to be a teacher, nor did he receive any money for his teachings, but he did gain a young, rich, aristocratic following, such as people like Plato, who was so influenced by Socrates' pursuit of wisdom that he would later dedicate his entire life to recording and spreading Socrates' teachings. And despite Socrates claiming to never know anything at all, he did acknowledge the importance of raising people up in virtue, such as people like the youth. According to the Journal of Black Studies, Tupac created the thug ideology, which generated activism among the inner city's youth. Tupac took the word thug and redefined it as someone who overcomes societal obstacles. Tupac believed that thugs would be transformed and prepared for political activism, and he trained them to fight against systematic and racial oppression to create and maintain a better future for the youth in the community. Both Socrates and Tupac had a great influence over the youth and for the youth, but now let's talk about their influence after death. In Plato's dialogue, The Apology, Socrates is being put on trial for impiety and corruption of the youth. Socrates is unfortunately found guilty and is sentenced to death. Now, Socrates tells those that sentence him to death that a vengeance will come upon you immediately after my death, a vengeance much harder to bear than that which you took in killing me. What Socrates was basically telling those that convicted him was that if they thought that killing him was going to solve the problem of the youth pursuing philosophy, then they were very, very wrong, because the youth's desire to pursue philosophy was only going to spread more rapidly and vigorously as soon as Socrates was gone. Today, Socrates is considered the father of the Western philosophical tradition because his ideas, methods, and teachings influence Western thought to this day. Similarly, at the end of Tupac's song, Outlaw, Tupac talks about how people want to see him dead, but even if he dies, the thug life will continue on, spread, and multiply through the youth. Today, Tupac is considered one of the greatest rappers of all time because his music inspires newer generations of activists and rappers. I don't think it's far-fetched to say that both Socrates and Tupac's prophecies were pretty spot on. Their influence still lingers on in society, specifically America's, to this day. So today, I've talked about the similarities between Tupac and Socrates on three main points: their tension with the government, their influence over the youth, and their influence after death. I hope that you learned something new today about these two seemingly different men with similar journeys to impacting the societies of their time. I hope you noticed that impact on the society of their time, but also the society that we live in today. Thank you.